I was 19, bro.
Okay.
You know, and at that time I was handling all the marketing for a 500 crore valuation company that was in franchises. When I first started making money with Shopify dropshipping, I remember the first thing that I wanted to buy. I remember I made in a certain, I think 2 week period or something, I made like 60,000 profit. I worked with the founder's daughter, and the founder's daughter's brand, I took them to a crore in the first 25 days in revenue. Yeah, Radhakrishnan Pillai sir, I worked
Right.
with him also.
Right.
I met him also in person, went to
Wow.
his office, made sure. His book, Chanakya,
Yeah.
most of our clients' businesses Q4, which is October to December of every year, is a huge period.
Yep.
Huge.
Yeah.
I remember, dude, there was one point, bro, where we needed to build 20 landing pages in a week.
Bro, so I want to start this podcast in a quite filmy way.
Okay.
And I'll go like, मुंबई से आया मेरा दोस्त को सलाम करो, because
Wow.
my friend has finally come from Mumbai to Noida, where we are shooting right now this episode. Welcome to Noida, Delhi.
Thank
Karan,
you.
how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, bro. I'm here. How are you?
Very happy now.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you to come, and finally we are doing podcast, so
Right.
much awaited. Awesome. Okay, tell me, bro, you've been off camera for a while. Why was the case? I mean, why were you off camera, bro?
I mean, I started doing this for a certain objective, right? When I started in 2017, 2018, recording content, it was because I was an introvert. It was because I couldn't talk to anyone. And someone had told me that you start talking to a camera first.
Okay.
Right? And that was a content creator himself. But he gave me this advice that start talking to a camera first in your room. I started doing that. I did not post any of those videos, but I started doing that. And then suddenly I started to find confidence to actually post. And then I started to get people to engage, people to comment, people to DM and say, and I started seeing that, this was somewhat valuable, me documenting my journey, not just because of accountability to me, but it was also adding value to some people. Right. So I kept on doing more and more and more. And eventually I started finding that my content was very mundane.
Right.
It was very similar, and the stuff that I was talking about, it wasn't that new, bro. And this was 2 years back when I had the best brands, worked with the best brands in India, best creators in India, managing all their ads, managing all their performance. At the same point in time, I felt somewhere internally that I did not know what I was talking about.
So, okay.
And I felt like there was still a lot more to learn. So I took a slight break away. The break I was planning for was 1 month. It turned out to be 2 years and counting,
Not anymore.
and, took that break, started working with a few other people that I really looked up to. Started working with Grant Cardone, Ted McGrath, just a few people that I looked up to 5-6 years back. And I was going through their courses when I wanted to start. Right? Started working with them, started traveling to US, being in that type of network, learning a little bit more. And now I feel like, the amount I've actually got in my head, obviously as time goes on and as you keep executing, now I feel like I have understood a few more things, a few basic fundamental things, but a few more things about how life works, about how work is supposed to be done, about how these successful companies actually operate. And for those reasons specifically, I feel like I have a little bit more time and confidence to really put towards content and speaking about something. That feeling of confidence that you get when you actually have to speak about something. I felt like an imposter 2 years back.
Right. Okay. I'll make sure now you're back because you have so much to share now. And I'm sure the audience who will see this content and even beyond what you'll create in future, they will love it.
I'm hoping for the same. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's actually valuable to at least one person. That's the end goal.
Right, bro. Let's go a little more back in past when you were maybe 15 or 16, when you really started thinking of doing something. I don't know what made you think at that young age, but you were very young, bro, at that time when you started working professionally. You started looking after your career and everything, all of that. What made you do that?
I mean, I think everyone has like a hunger, at least what I've noticed from people, especially people in India. I can tell you that everyone comes from a certain hunger. Everyone comes from a certain background that they wanna improve their current standings. They wanna achieve something. And they have such a big motivation for this, that's what really pushes them to go above and beyond, right? It's a similar story with me also. So I was born and brought up in Dubai. Been living there for quite some time, since I was 12 years old. The first 12 years of my life I was in Dubai. Then I shifted over here because I actually ended up having a little bit more fun, a little bit more friends over here in Mumbai. So I shifted over here specifically for that reason. And everything was going smooth, very well. We had a family business. We were surviving and thriving quite well, in fact. And then what happened is in 2016, end of 2016, our family business was not doing as well. And I started seeing certain situations at home where, certain very small basic things were becoming challenging. Like for example, paying an electricity bill, or, just ordering certain food from outside, from your favorite restaurant. And it's not like food is expensive also when you order, right? But it's just certain of these small things, bro. If you have to think twice or thrice, and if you have to actually put your attention on it, I was noticing those types of situations come into my home, which I was never really experienced with as such. So I started seeing that happening around 2016. And I was, 14 years at that time, and then I started searching online. I went to Google, went to YouTube, and I tried to search that, okay, how can I actually make a little bit more money? At that time, I just wanted to make 10,000-12,000 rupees every month, whatever my pocket money was,
Yeah.
so that at least that burden of my parents goes away. So I just started searching a little bit online, started seeing a few things. And what had happened was that there was this trend. Okay, it was this toy called fidget spinner. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Right. So I used to travel to Dubai every 6 months or so, just to spend time with my dad. Also, his business was over there. So I used to travel to Dubai, and I noticed this trend in India. With my friends, they all had it and everything. And when I went to Dubai, I saw the price of a fidget spinner. Now, when I saw it over here in India, I could not buy it. Even though my friends had it and everything, I could not buy it because it was 1,500 or 2,000 rupees. I went to Dubai in the best, most expensive mall, Dubai Mall. Okay, the price was only 50 rupees.
What?
Only 50 rupees. It was 2.5 dirhams. And I saw it, and in my excitement, I bought 5 of them.
Okay.
Okay, and I must have spent around 250 rupees or so, right? Just in my excitement, I bought 5 different designs of it. I took it home, and then my mom was like, you don't need 5 of them, give them away, right? Keep one, give them away, right? And she intended to just give it away for free. What I did was I just posted it on Snapchat. At that time Snapchat was really famous in my friends group, right? Posted it on Snapchat as a story saying who wants one. And I had, like, probably in an hour, I got 40 to 50 DMs on Snapchat, from all my friends saying, I want one, I want one, I want one. I did not even talk about, okay, it being for free or anything. And then something clicked that, okay, maybe there's an opportunity here, right? Because in India, you would get this toy for 1,500, 2,000 rupees. Who would spend that? Like, I didn't see the value in it,
Right.
But at the same point in time, I saw the value in it for 500 rupees. In Mumbai, that's a meal.
Yeah.
So I saw the value in it for that much, and I saw the margins as well. Now, if you're buying something for 50 and selling it for 500, it makes sense. And my flight and everything was anyways,
Yep.
taken care of.
Yeah.
So I just bought 50 of them, took it over there, and I started selling. I made a little bit of money, and that was my first taste of actually taking a little bit risk, and selling something and adding value to someone for a little bit of money. And I made a good amount. I made about 25,000 around, and it was a really good start. And then I got a few more spinners from Dubai. My dad was coming back, so I ordered through him as well and started selling those also. So I made, by the end of it, I made about almost 50,000 rupees. I could not sell all of it.
Right.
Because I had limited friends also.
Yeah, of course.
But, I sold about 50,000 rupees in a month. And doing nothing, dude. I would just go in my school, canteen, break time, just keep giving. That's it.
So did you, invest that money into courses or what?
So that's a great question, man. So what happened, bro, is that, after that, the whole spinners ka craze died down.
Yeah.
For a year, I had nothing. I had such a big high point of excitement and that adrenaline.
Yeah.
And then all of that came crashing down.
Of course.
And then I was just searching online. I was searching online everywhere I could that, okay, how do I get that feeling again? Right? And then suddenly one day on YouTube, this guy's ad pops up, Ty Lopez.
Okay.
Right? And he's like, this was iconic, man. This was, I think, 2017 or something, around that time, 2017,
Late
2018.
2017, I guess.
Yeah. So around that time, when Ty Lopez was still a very big name, he was just growing at that time. So his ad pops up and he's like, here's how I make money online without touching a single piece of inventory. And as a 15, 16-year-old kid, okay, not to manage inventory, starting with just $100, all of that investment pitch sounded very nice to me, So it was just for those reasons. I clicked on the ad, went through a webinar training, went through the entire thing. And I learned about this whole model of drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is basically a business model where you've got a supplier, ideally in China, right? You have your own branded site, your own branded store. You're selling the same product that the supplier is charging $1 for, you're charging $10 for. When the customer places an order from your store for $10, you are placing an order with the supplier and giving the customer's address. So the product goes from the supplier to the customer. Right? It does not go through the middleman. So I didn't have to hold inventory, manage inventory, touch inventory. I just had to keep the profit. That's it. Get the order, keep the profit. And to me, that sounded really nice.
Yeah.
So I started in that, and I had a little bit of funds. I had 50,000. For you to set up a store, it just costed 2,500 rupees. That's it.
Right.
So I had a little bit of trial and error on that. Started my first store. Did all the development myself, research, copywriting, everything. And that time there was no AI also. It was just me doing my own research, and writing and building everything myself. I did everything from setting up the store to the Facebook page to the creatives, copies, product images, reviews, everything. All of it done by me. Right? Launched with this excitement that, okay, press the go button tomorrow. I'm going to see my first order.
Yeah.
It did not come through.
Right.
Next day, same hope. Did not come through. Next week, same hope. Did not come through. The second month, when it billed that 2,500 rupees, that time it pinched me a bit.
Yeah.
I kept it going for another month and then I straight shut down.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, this product is not working. Let's start something else. So then I researched, did the entire process from scratch again. Did not work out. Same exact result. And then I saw this guy called Sam Ovens.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Who I respect a lot. I saw a training from his end. And his ad was specifically talking about that, okay, you're running ads. You're doing everything. You're getting reach. You're getting traffic. But you're not getting any conversions. You're not getting any sales. Right? And he was pitching like a free webinar. Went through the free webinar. It was a 3-hour training. And the main thing that he spoke about, okay, was that instead of you having just a generic website, what if you had an actual sales funnel, a sales process that you took a customer from this stage of an ad awareness level to this stage of actually solving their problem with the final product, and you ascended them through. And something in my head just clicked that I knew I was doing this wrong. And I knew that this idea had potential.
Right.
So I started another store. And I remember very specifically, it was in the pets niche. Okay. And I started that store and I set up everything. It took me 5-6 days to set up everything of my full time and attention. Right. Set up multiple sales pages, did all the research that this is the first product, this is the final product, this is the problem that I'm going to pick on, this is the problem that I'm going to solve. Right. Did all the research. And the good news, bro, is that I could also take the reviews from the supplier and put that on my product because the product is the same.
Yeah.
Right. So I could also take the reviews from the supplier and do it. It's legally allowed.
Right.
Okay. Or at least at that time it was legally allowed. Okay. So I did that entire process and then I launched ads. And then the next day, bro, cha-ching on my mobile. Shopify order has come for $19. And at that time, bro, I felt like finally I've cracked the code.
Right.
I think this internet money thing actually works. It has potential. It has potential for you to not talk to a person, not know a person, because prior to that I was only selling to friends physically in person, right? When that first cha-ching came, okay, I still remember, dude, the feeling, bro, was it was I can't even describe it, dude, because everything came from that one thing itself.
Yeah.
Because you need a certain belief that okay, this has potential, this is gonna work. And until then, bro, I was like, I can't do this. Maybe the spinners thing was a fluke, right? But that one cha-ching made me feel like, okay, there is something here. Because I've started something from scratch with no experience in this industry, with no one, no connections, nothing. It's not like I was selling to people who I knew.
Right. Yeah.
I was selling to random people on the internet. And it was a huge epiphany for me that, okay, maybe there is some value over here. And eventually I started doing this so much that my family knew about it. My family knew that, okay, I was doing something digitally.
Right.
I was building websites, building pages, doing something online, running ads. And then I remember one of my uncles, he wanted to build out a website. And he said that, I should help. And, I gracefully helped.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you need to.
Yeah.
Right? So I helped out, did the website, did everything on that, completely free, no cost. Right? Because I didn't know that, okay, you could be charging for this also.
Yeah.
But then what happened, bro, is that as soon as his website went up, one of his friends wanted a website.
Okay.
And then I realized that, okay, people actually charge for this.
Of course.
Because when I got on a call with him, he's like, how much would you take? And the first number that popped into my head was 8,000 rupees. First number. That's what I used to charge, bro. 8,000 rupees. Okay, I remember the first social media management thing also that I had done. I had done a photo shoot just on my phone of a product. And I had returned the product also. They didn't allow me to keep the product as well.
Okay.
But I remember the first photo shoot also that I had done. I had done social media management, 30 posts every month, one post every day for 6,000 rupees. I will do the writing, the designing, the posting, and the reporting. Everything for 6,000 rupees. That's how I started into the
using
freelancing.
Canva, right?
Yeah, using Canva.
Best, I think. Back then it was the best.
Exactly. And that's how I got into this whole freelancing game. I started into drop shipping. I started building things myself, developing things online, just doing trial and error. And then suddenly people from my network, my uncle, friends, family, they needed some help.
Right.
And I was the one person in their network who they trusted enough to help. Did that, started figuring out that okay, there is some scope over here, started charging the bare minimum in my head of what was possible, what was good, right? Which was 8,000 rupees that I was charging. And after that I started realizing, and I started meeting more people, started seeing that okay, this is an actual business, this is an actual industry, this is what people are actually charging. This is what the actual delivery is. This is what brands actually expect. And then I started seeing, dude, that there were some agencies charging 30, 40,000. There were some agencies charging 1 lakh. There were some agencies charging 3 lakhs. Right? And I started seeing the whole scope and the whole area. But I still did not execute as much because the model was very nice.
Yeah.
I was making a good amount of money, dude. This was 2018 to 2020. This was when I was 16, 17. Yeah, 16, 17. At that time, bro, I remember, okay, all your major bars, restaurants, lounge bars and all of this in Mumbai, in Bandra, Khar, Juhu, all your major ones, dude, I was handling the social media for.
For 6,000 rupees a month?
6,000, 8,000, 10,000, in that range. And
Amazing.
it was all cash. I used to find people in my school only who used to handle and help me a little bit with the delivery.
Right.
I did not have organization or processes. It was just all based on here.
Yeah.
That's it. It was all just manual labor and effort.
Of course.
Right? And that energy that came through, that you want to go meet the person in office. You want to see everything. You want to make sure payments are on time. You want to go ahead and meet the team member who's going to be helping you. At that time, it was just my friends, my school friends, right? They would help me manage the social media profile, design the posts. I would give a little bit of money to them also. And I remember it was just for the fun of it. It was just for the experience. And then what happened, bro, is by the end of 2019, I remembered we had such a good point, dude. Like, I remember at one point, dude, I was making 2.5 lakhs every month
By
just doing this.
all this.
Just doing this, bro. And I did not have a client who paid more than 12,000 a month. I did not have a client more than that.
So I guess back in those days only, Varun Maya launched his book Pajama Profit that we talked about yesterday. That helped me, maybe helped you with some processes and SOPs, right? It was very insightful back in those days. It was crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I followed Varun since I don't even know, bro. Pre-COVID, when he also did not have that much of a following. I started following him. He was doing this free content series called Meta Startup at that time, and I started following him through those promotions itself. And I remember that when I was reading that book, in India, bro, freelancing was still very prominent. Like, there were people who were doing it, but there were no processes.
Yeah.
Nobody really thought of it as a business that you could scale.
There was no book, bro, other than that.
Exactly. So I remember when I was also reading it, because seeing Varun's case study also of how he went from a freelancer to running at that time Avalon Labs, which was, if I remember correctly, a 50% team with a physical office, right? And he had a huge office, right? And I remember very clearly, dude, that transition, when I was reading the book, it made a lot more sense to me. When I was seeing the videos online and everything, it was just exciting. It's not like I could make any logical reasoning for it. Right? I could not even imagine how you would go from a standard freelance career
to roadmap, bro. That was a practical roadmap which you could follow, read and follow, just like that.
Exactly. So that book, bro, I think there was a co-writer also, Abhinav. If I'm not mistaken. And both of them very, very skilled, very capable, and they highlighted things in a very easy way. Like, I read books now also, and some of the books, bro, very complex. Very, very, very complex, man. And I remember Pajama Profit, which was one of the first books that I read, especially by an Indian author in this space. Very easy to read. I remember another author, Russell Brunson, who wrote the .com secrets, expert secrets, that's whole secrets book. Very easy language to read. And I remember those two authors very specifically because the language was so easy, dude, and because they gave all the epiphanies, dude. Every single chapter had that epiphany, and I really do kind of feel like it's not being promoted enough, dude, specifically Pajama Profit.
Yeah, it's still underrated. I mean, it's still practical.
That's the keyword.
It's still practical and can be consumed, can be leveraged, can be, utilized.
Definitely.
But yeah, very underrated, man.
Yeah, bro. And what he's doing now also, man, crazy, right? Every single stage, every single level, he's owning it.
Bro, so I want to go a little back in your journey, because the thing is, what I'm able to, understand and observe as an observer with respect to Varun Maya's entire journey is that he has taken very mature decisions, right?
Yeah.
And you did the same as well, right? So what happens when you're very young, let's say 16, 15, 17, 18, or even 19, under 20, let's just say that. What made you think in your own journey that you have to take these certain decisions instead of going out chilling with the money that you've gotten? You did not do that. You actually invested that. So how did that process of maturity came to your life? Was that from parenting? Was that from the surrounding? I'm not sure about that, but what was that?
I mean, bro, like, I believe that definitely your environment, the people around you, everything has a effect, right, on how your mental state is, how you've grown up, the values you have. So that definitely has a certain factor in this. But I was never like this. If I say, bro, like, when I first started out, when I first started making money with Shopify dropshipping, I remember the first thing that I wanted to buy. I remember I made, in a certain, I think 2-week period or something, I made like 60,000 profit. 2-3 weeks or something. And I remember out of the 60,000, dude, I took 20,000. I bought a new pair of shoes. Because that one pair of shoes, dude, one of my friends had it. And I remember, bro, it looked amazing. It was Adidas NMD.
Right.
Till date, bro, I still have the same shoe, and every time I look at it, dude, I don't know whether I should feel proud that I made the money or I should feel off
Yeah.
that I spent it so,
No,
so in a
sneakers are
hurry.
investment, bro. Sneakers are nowadays it's investment. Earlier
Nowadays,
that was
yeah.
not. Now
Nowadays, yes.
we can sort of
But that was how I started, right? Every single time, bro, thoda sa money came into the account, I would be like, let's go out, let's splurge. And I definitely did it with good intentions also. I treated my family everywhere. I treated my friends to really good experiences. But now, bro, I think the main change, okay, that really led to me thinking of these things in a different way and making decisions in a different way is just a vision of a different end goal, right? When you have a different end goal, when you're not looking at just today or just this month, and when you're looking more longer term, I think that's really helped me make certain decisions in a different type of stance. I'm not just looking at a pair of shoes or a one time holiday. I'm looking at, okay, how can it kind of affect the next 10 years, not just for me but also the people around me. I believe there are different dynamics of people in life. I believe that number one is your partner, right? Your partner is there, then you've got your friends, your family, right? Then you've got just normal nature also outside, right? Then you've got the entire world, the entire universe, whatever you're doing, right, for it. I believe that there's different dynamics in life. I don't know exactly how many, but I do believe that there's different number of dynamics and different levels of dynamics. And I believe that if you're not just looking out for yourself but looking out for a group of people, you'll make decisions differently. So certain decisions, dude, that I used to make when I was 16, 17, 18, bro, when you would have that throw of money in the account, you would feel like doing what? You would want to go out and maybe at that time, if you would have a crush, you would want to treat her somewhere,
of course,
right?
yeah.
You would want to buy, for me, it was all the tech gadgets. I'm a huge Apple fan. I was at that time, still am. I wanted to buy every single gadget out there. I'm not too much with clothes, but at that time, dude, because I remember one of my friends had got a compliment on that Adidas NMD. Again, I was like, I need it. I need that.
Yeah.
So I made certain decisions based on that. Those were my motivating factors. And now over time, bro, it just changes. It changes because now you look at different priorities. So now for me, dude, when I've got a team, right, when you've got a group of clients who trust you, who give you this much responsibility, when you've got an entire family and an entire group of friends to kind of take, to not essentially look after, but just keep in mind, right, and help.
Yeah.
At that point, dude, you'll be making a lot different decisions.
That's there, bro. That's a very good way to put it. I think this is exactly how youngsters can, learn from the same way, the same perspective. But I've got an even bigger question, bro. And that question is, at this moment, this particular year, you're 22, right?
Yeah.
22, 23, turning 23. Bro, you have a responsibility of managing 100 crores of ads. Bro, for a 22-year-old in India, I don't think even 1% or even 0.1% youth of your age have that responsibility. So you're definitely way apart from all of us, to be honest. How do you understand that you have this responsibility, or you like, okay, you take it as a game, you just do what you do, or how do you take this feeling when you're sitting silently just with yourself?
So, bro, one thing that I've realized, dude, and that I've been very lucky to have around me is good partners. I work with good team members, I work with good clients, and my energy is always uptoned. I'm always excited about a new idea. I'm always excited about a new experiment. Money will come and go, friends will come and go. Everything in life, it will always come and go, right? But I believe that as long as that energy, is always uptoned, you will always get some opportunity because there's countless opportunities around you, right? So what I did, bro, is obviously it's a huge responsibility. I'm not going to deny it, but I personally feel like after a certain amount of years in this space of performance marketing, I kind of know exactly what works. I don't know what ad is going to work. I don't know what funnel is going to work. I don't know which offer is going to work. I don't know anything about that, but I know which process is going to work. Okay, because I've done this repeatedly. I know that as long as I'm uptone about every single experiment, as long as I'm uptone with my team, uptone with my clients, when I say uptone, I mean energetic. As long as I have positive energy coming out of every single interaction with every team member and every client, I know something's going to work out. And that's my only belief. As you correctly said, dude, I think about it as games. Everything in life, dude, is a game. There is a roadmap. I might not know it, I might know it. But at the same point in time, dude, as long as you're playing the game with the right people, where it's fun, where everything is uptone, energetic, and you're not feeling like, okay, this team is holding you down, this person is holding you down, something is suppressing you. As long as you're not in that type of environment, I believe it's just a matter of time. So definitely 100 crores, very big responsibility. I'm thinking about a 10x bigger number, but I believe that obviously our clients are trusting us. My team is trusting me, right? There's a lot of trust going all around the place, right? And I do believe that 100 crores is going to go to the 1,000 crores because it's just a matter of time. Whether it's going to happen in a month or in a year, I don't know. But it's just a matter of time, dude. But the most important thing that I know, bro, is that if even one day or one interaction goes downtoned, that 100 crores goes 10% down, bro, you're screwed.
Right.
And there are days, there are in fact months. Every business, dude, it's a up and down, right? So even for our clients' businesses, most of our clients' businesses, Q4, which is October to December of every year, is a huge period.
Yep.
Huge.
Yeah.
Whether we're looking at coaching brands or e-commerce brands, October to December, those last 3 months of every year, huge. First 3 months also very good. The middle, probably May, June, July, these 3 months, dude, is mostly a slump.
Right.
For most clients that I've worked with.
Yeah.
Okay, and even at those periods of time, dude, it's very important for you to be uptone about this. As long as you have a direction moving forward that, okay, the next 3 months might be tough, but here's how we're going to maintain. Here's how we're going to scale. Here's our ideology for the next 10 years. Here's where we want to take this brand. Here's where we see the potential of it. As long as we're 100% aligned on that, every single client is going to trust you. Every single team member is going to trust you. And another thing that I've realized, bro, is that at least in my experience, I've worked with some of the best brands in the space. If not everyone, most of them are older to me, are more competent than me, more experienced than me, and they've always given a chance to a young person. They want to support the entire ecosystem because they started in a certain way. So they know how, people in their young age also start. What type of energy comes through. So they want to support that. As long as in that meeting, you can go ahead and showcase your energy, your passion, your ideology. As long as you can communicate well and position yourself well, I think the opportunities, there's countless of them. I don't think there's a limit of opportunities in this country.
I totally agree with you, bro. In fact, you said this word energy in between. I want to touch base more on that part. I want you to share how do you really, really retain the energy and keep it the way that you did, and you're doing.
So, bro, like my thought on this, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but what's worked for me is that I feel like there's a group of people, at least in my experience, especially with clients and team members both. There's a group of clients or team members that are suppressive in nature. And there are a group of clients and team members that are energetic about this, positively.
Right.
You might consider them optimistic, but they're optimistic with data.
Right.
That's how I look at it. So there are clients and team members that have been suppressive with me in the past, where anytime I suggest an idea, they're the very first people to kind of shoot it down. And I'm fine with you shooting down ideas as long as you don't shoot down all of them without giving data, right? I recommend an idea only based on data. That's it. If you want to shoot it down, give me a data point. So I have noticed that there are people, there are always people who are there kind of suppressive because it's not been in their experience, it's not in their understanding, whatever the situation may be, right? But they will suppress your ideas, and ideas are the only thing that really allow you to grow. Ideas and experiments, right? If you make sure that you don't associate yourself with someone who's suppressing it all the time, I believe that's going to go a long way. So the current team I've got, they're very open to ideas and experimentation. The current clients I have, they are always open to experimentation, always. And that is something that I did not have 2 years back. Now, at this point, I can safely say 100% of the clients that I have and 100% of the team members that I have are not 1% suppressive to an idea.
Very interesting.
They will shoot it down, but they will always give a data point to validate that shoot down. So that's important, right? And they will always suggest ideas with data points. And when you have that type of energy of people just wanting to win, but doing it by suggesting ideas with data to experiment, to keep experimenting, it's just a matter of time until one experiment works. So to me, that's really worked out, and I'm finding it a lot more fun, a lot more interesting compared to 2 years back, because I don't have anyone that's suppressing me. It's like, okay, cool, you want to grow, but someone's just putting that ceiling. And it's worst when a team member is doing it.
Yeah.
Worst.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to grow. A client wants to grow. I want to grow. Team member wants to grow. Everyone wants to grow.
Yeah.
So why put barriers up? So what I've found, bro, is anyone who's suppressive on my team, dude, part ways. Anyone who's suppressive in terms of the clients, not the right fit. Simple. You want to find a partner. I tell clients very straight up that you want to find a partner who's always up for experimenting, idea generation, who's always thinking about growth. That's me. I tell team members, you want to always look for a type of client who's always passionate about growth. You want to experiment as much as possible and you want the budgets for it. This is the place to be. That's all I do for onboarding, right? And now I feel like I'm at a point where the team and the clients are kind of all aligned on this, that they never want to suppress anyone. They always want to kind of experiment, try and find out what's the new trend, what's going to work. And that's what's really allowed us to kind of grow also. Prior to this, bro, like if I had to say 3 years back, 2021, I was managing a spend of maybe 50 to 70 lakhs every month. So maybe you can say like 6 crores, approx. Now I'm managing 100 crores, and I'm doing it with less clients.
Right.
I'm doing it with less clients, which is the most interesting thing. I'm doing it with less team members compared to 3 years back.
Of course, yeah.
So I find it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun now to kind of get back into work. And now everyone's aligned, so as long as I'm passionate about experimenting, which I am, everyone's aligned on the same thing. Now it's just a matter of time until one experiment works and that 100 goes to 1,000.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to hear that, bro. I mean, it all has worked out and now you're at a place where you find it all sorted, peaceful.
Yeah, at least the energy, man. Otherwise, bro, even you're coming from a services space, dude, how easy it is for the energy to go completely out.
It can go out in a second, bro.
Right. So that I believe is a major challenge in the services space. Yeah. And I think that's the only challenge, in fact. You could be really good at the work you do. You could be really good at sales. But keeping everyone aligned to the vision and to keeping the certain type of energy between the client, between the team member, keeping that in order is the number one challenge, in my opinion, what I faced.
I mean, that's in your job description, bro.
Exactly. So I think that's one really good progress, dude. And it's just the team's happy, clients are happy, I'm happy. What else matters?
Nothing. That's all. I mean, bro, tell me, how does it feel when you're being referred to Grant Cardone?
I mean, I've followed him for at least since 2017, so about 7 years now. He was the first guy's course, the sales course that I purchased. The first one was Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I have huge, immaculate amounts of respect, for him. His journey, dude, is something that I've never seen.
Most practical guy, bro. To
Yeah.
summarize in few words.
And the way he manages also operation, because working with him, I've kind of seen his operation also.
Okay.
And I can tell you very safely, he's one of the smartest guys that I've ever met. If I have to actually label it, I would put him in the top 3. He's one of the smartest guys that I've ever met. Okay, he can make anything win. Anything he touches is gonna win.
Well, that's
And
the attitude, bro. I mean,
it's not just about an attitude. It's
Yeah.
obviously attitude, energy, all of that is important. But actually getting it done, that is, you need something else, bro, for it. And he's 65, bro.
yeah. Look at his physique, bro.
Dude, he's crushing it.
Yeah.
His energy, his direction, his determination, everything. He's on point. And he has some really good skill sets, dude. His communication skills are amazing. He knows how to command and control a room like no one I've seen.
Right.
Okay. And most importantly is he understands marketing.
Yeah.
He knows the game of marketing very well.
Of course.
And that's how he's been able to do all of this. That's how he's able to grow, right? Because he understands communication, he understands marketing and sales, right? And he understands just how to make sure that the person's attention is with you, right? And I've noticed, bro, with his organization also, the team, absolute A players. Absolute A players. Every single person on his team, okay, their energy is always uptone. Communication, always amazing. They always have the right data points. They always have everything prepared. Okay, if Grant asks one thing just out of nowhere, without any preparation or agenda of the meeting, okay, their team will have that data point ready. Their team knows their area, takes control of that area, and takes responsibility of it. That's one thing that I've noticed in only that one organization. No other organization in America or in India that I've personally noticed it, where your junior team members are taking enough 100% responsibility for their entire area. You don't need someone to manage them. You don't need someone to micromanage or to push them.
Expensive shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like right now, also, right before this podcast, I went to a client's office. He had a 4-story building.
Right.
Huge team members, marketing team, sales team, phone team, this, that, everything, right? Manufacturing, all of that. And previously also he had offices prior to 1 year back, but he moved everything in one building so that he can monitor all the departments.
Right.
And I was there for maybe 3 hours. The entire 3 hours, dude, there was a manager sitting on top of everyone. Because the team needs that.
Yeah.
The team needs that. Otherwise, the work just doesn't happen. But with that organization, I've personally seen, dude, that they're killers. And that's the only reason why Grant's been able to grow so fast, so big. Only reason is because he gets to focus on what he's good at, and the organizations get to be managed by the team.
Very insightful, bro, for sure.
And obviously, huge responsibility, man. Like, I love it. I learn a lot. I slog, bro. In an organization like that, to really match up to that type of energy, you need to slog. But it's fun. It's a nice challenge. As long as you're interacting with the right people,
Yeah.
as long as you're learning something every single day, what problem is there? Right? We don't mind working.
Yeah.
As
We're here to
long
work.
as it's the right people.
Yeah, we are here to work.
Exactly. So that's been one of the best experiences of my life, has been seeing their organization at work, because I was never exposed to anything like that previously or even currently. I've never seen an organization like that work. So it's been one of the experiences that I will never forget. Right? So that's something that I really I'm glad of, and they also trusted me, dude. They trusted me to come in on a single order 2 years back. And now they've trusted me with an even bigger ad account as well.
Yeah.
And let's see, it should go well.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah,
Gonna see the ads that you'll and your team will run for sure.
definitely.
Acha, bro, tell me one thing. So the thing is, there might be a lot of agency founders and owners might be watching this podcast, 100%. And what problem happens in a lot of the cases is when you don't know what not to do, right? And this is something that you worked really, really well on and repetitively, right? Again and again. So what were those things for an agency owner to run an agency, global agency, what not to do?
That's a great question, man. I haven't found a lot of people who have asked me that.
Right.
Like everyone asks what to do.
Yeah.
How do I sell this? How do I get results for this client? Everyone asks those standard questions. Nobody really asks what not to do.
Yeah, bro. Tell me that now. Tell me now.
So I've made a few mistakes, bro.
Right.
I think that's the easiest way to kind of characterize this of what not to do is just don't do my mistakes. The first very standard mistake, bro, that I used to do, okay, I remember one of the very first few projects that I had closed during the social media management side is I had gone to this bar, okay, restaurant and bar in Mumbai called Escobar. Okay, cold called everyone, okay, set the meeting. And at that time, I didn't tell my parents that I was working or anything. So obviously I did not prepare, and while getting out of the house also, I just went in my normal clothes. So I've gone in for the meeting, met the manager sitting in a nice pant and a shirt. I'm sitting in a denim shorts and a normal t-shirt with a graphic. And I'm trying to pitch him for business. So I think the first very important thing is just making sure that research is taken care of. Now, every single project that we come on board for, the very first meeting, we know exactly if they're running ads, yes or no. How much are they spending on ads? We know that. We know that what type of results are they getting. We know exactly where they want to get to also in the next 6 to 12 months. So we have certain data on that. Before every call, I will personally research the brand. I will make sure that it's a fit. It's a fit in terms of ethics. They're selling something right. And secondly is we can actually help them. Right? I will personally go through and make sure that the client is a check on both of those two things. And then if we can personally help them, I will try and see what their targets are and I will try and see what we can kind of help them with. So every single call is prepared to such a point where we have the data from their end, we do our research from our end, and then we come on the call and we just talk about numbers. We talk about that, okay, you're currently at X, you want to get to Y, right? You go to any other agency, they're not going to look at this. You have tried other agencies in the past. Why are you coming to us? Right? And try and understand a little bit more. And automatically, dude, when you pitch the numbers, you pitch the ideas, you know exactly what the gap is. Okay, and as long as you can convince them that that gap is the reason why they're not going from X to Y using their current methods, the chances of closing them much higher, the chances of retaining them much higher, because you have done your research, you have gone prepared. I had one client who I was very close with, about 2-3 years back. Okay, in the Indian space, they're called Richfield. Okay, one of the biggest companies, dude. Pre-COVID, one of the biggest spaces in trichology, which is hair transplant services.
Right.
They had almost 100 clinics or maybe a little bit more than 100 clinics. Physical service-based business, okay, in India, worth, I think, 500 crores when I was working with them.
Right.
And I remember when I went for a meeting, it was a referral. I worked with the founder's daughter. And the founder's daughter's brand, I took them to 1 crore in the first 25 days in revenue.
Wow.
Great results. And then obviously my communication and energy always uptone. So the daughter recommended to her dad, who was the founder of Richfield, and recommended just to have a meeting and a sit down. And he was a little bit, older to me, a little bit more experienced.
A little bit or a lot?
A lot, but he was from a different type of generation. right? But at the same point in time, he's worked with the best marketing people in the country.
I'm sure.
Best. Okay. He's worked with top players. He still wanted to give me a chance and a shot.
Were you what, 20, 19?
2021, I was 19.
Wow, not bad, bro.
I was 19, bro.
Okay.
You know, and at that time, I was handling all the marketing for a 500 crore valuation company that was in franchises. Okay, I was running everything. All the marketing gone through me. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that, bro, is because the way I pitch them. Number one, obviously, referral comes through. Number two, energy, communication, how you pitch, everything. But the research and the preparation, everyone at that time, dude, used to do soft pitches. Soft copy, like you would have a presentation presented on the TV,
Yeah.
right? And just go through slide by slide. I had printouts, I'd put it in a file, I'd made sure it's the highest quality paper. In my entire life, till that time, I never paid that much for a printout. Okay? And made sure that everything was perfect. I had done all of this 2 days in advance to the meeting. I had closed on my strategy, closed on my commercials, closed on the stats, the numbers, everything. Everything was ready. I had 6 copies of it. Went, met with the entire board, okay, in a conference room. I had a soft copy presentation also, but every single one had a hard copy. Okay, they were able to touch and feel and see the numbers in front of their eyes. That level of preparation, I can't really account to me closing the sale only to that, but it definitely helped in my confidence. It
Definitely.
helped in my confidence. It helped me to set that apart. And at the same point, dude, as long as you're going in with the right research, with the right data, with the right ideas, that kind of makes sense. And you can convince people that these ideas have this potential. Why won't someone give you a shot? Right?
Of course.
So I think the biggest mistake, bro, in this space is thinking that it's easy. Okay, because you see everyone talking about how much money they're making. It is not that lifestyle. You need to slog in this space. It is so competitive that you really need to set yourself apart. And the only way to set yourself apart is by actually knowing your area, actually knowing how to deliver results that the client wants, right? Because they've all worked with agencies or freelancers or service providers. It's not like a client coming to me for advertising is trying it for the first time.
It's never the
Never like
case.
that.
Yeah.
You know, they've always tried some solution in the past. It's just never worked out. You know, so when they do come to you or when you're going to them, you need to make sure that your research is on point. You need to make sure that the problem you're identified is correct. Based on that problem, the solution you're recommending is correct and you're able to pitch it well. And you need to make sure that your presentation is amazing. By presentation, it means your clothes, the way you speak, the way you present yourself, the way you present your proposal, everything on point. You've got to really think of it as a life or death moment. And then once you close them, that's when the real game starts. That's when every day is a life or death moment. Because one wrong interaction, the client's out. You know, there's always someone who does the same skill set for a little bit less money. Always.
Bro, what does it take to outsmart people who are there in the same game from, let's say, 20 years and whatnot, for a young kid like you, bro? Like, honestly, even back then, I mean, was that very competitive? Were you noticing a lot of people trying to eat and get your clients, whatnot?
I mean, I noticed it a
No,
little
it happens
bit.
because the thing is, it is a genuine
Yeah.
situation, bro. It happens, with all of us.
Bro, even I've tried it in the past, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like I've not been unethical ever. You know, there have been moments where even I've been unethical. I've poached team members, I've poached clients.
Right.
It's just a part of the game.
Right.
You know, and someone else has done it with me also.
Right.
Very clearly. In fact, team members also have poached clients, dude.
Right.
You know, there have been those situations as well.
Happens a
So
lot.
it's just a part of the game. But to really look at your question, bro, what I feel like, dude, is that I've never really tried to compete with the people who are senior to me. I've never looked at that. You know, I've been in the network of the biggest agencies in India. I've seen them. They're all wildly successful. They're making good money. Amazing. Good props to them.
Right.
I'm in a different business model. Their business model is okay, we need to hire 1,000 people. Okay, we need to find the best MNCs and we need to deliver reliable services. And to me personally, bro, my skill set is just not there yet to be at that level. And I don't want it to be, because I've seen the challenges and the problems you need to solve to manage 1,000-person company, to manage conversations with MNCs. I've seen the types of problems that come to you. I don't think I can solve them, and I don't think I want to. My game is very different, bro. My game is, I want to find the right partners, the right people who have leverage, the founders who really have strong leverage. By leverage, I mean that number one, they've got an amazing skill set of a product or service. Amazing. So their knowledge and experience of knowing the customer, knowing the industry is extremely high. Extremely high. Okay, so that's number one. Partnering with the right founder. Number two, bro, is just partnering up with the right team. By that, I don't mean skill set. Skill set, though, everyone can be trained on also.
Yeah.
But it's just about two things: interest and energy. Interest, okay, are they interested in a field that I'm interested in? So, for example, I'm interested in ads management, creative, and CRO, which is landing pages. Right? I'm interested in these three fields, which is why these three are our agency services, which is why any team member or any person who's interested in this field and who has the right energy to actually work 24/7 without any excuses is a person I can work with.
Right, bro.
So
Yeah.
to me personally, bro, I think I personally think those are the only two things to kind of look at.
Yeah.
And I never really compete with anyone 10, 20 years later. I don't even compare myself with them, because the game I'm trying to play versus the game they're trying to play is different. I'm not looking at going into that area. It's great, it's amazing, they're doing some amazing stuff. And I'm sure if I was to do it, it would be successful. It could be successful. Right? But at the same point in time, bro, it's not the right game for me.
Bro, so I know for a fact that you've worked with TagMango. You've handled a lot of their creators like PG, Prakhar Gupta, and then our Sid Warrior,
Yeah.
Euro guy, and who else? Yash Raj as well,
Yeah.
the famous guy
Yeah.
who does all the remix.
Correct.
And who else? Radha Krishnan Pillai?
Yeah, Radhakrishnan Pillai, sir. I worked
Right.
with him also.
Right.
I met him also in person, went to
Wow.
his office, made sure. His book, Chanakya.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I read that book, it was because of my dad. My dad had ordered that book. And this was long back, bro. Long back, when I was back in Dubai.
Right.
And at that time, I had read that book. I didn't understand half of it because I was like 10
Very
or
young.
12.
Very young, yeah.
But I remember seeing that book, and I remember seeing the cover of it and the name of it. And I remember when TagMango's co-founder, Hassan, who I'm very close to, right? I remember when he was telling me that, okay, we're aiming to onboard this person. I was like, give me this guy.
Right.
I'll make sure that he won't have any problem at all.
Right. So how was the experience working with all these best of the best creators in India back then?
Experience was really enlightening, dude. Because I loved it, man. I really did. At that point, money was not kind of the goal. The point was just networking, talking to people, and just getting out of my room, bro. Forget about comfort zone. Just getting out of my room.
Yeah.
Going out in Mumbai, meeting people, talking to people, and just networking, understanding, what's happening in the ecosystem. And I really liked what TagMango stood for. I'm still connected with one of the co-founders, and huge respect for him, bro. Huge respect, and I remember his vision, and that's what kind of aligned with me. Again, that's why I decided to partner with TagMango. And the minute I partnered with TagMango, bro, I think maybe the next month, dude, the amount of creators that came through, I think in the next 6 months, dude, I was managing at one point 60 to 65 creators. and my highest point. Now each creator is a different business,
Of
different
course.
service,
Niche.
different
Niche.
industry, different price point, different person to manage point of contact, everything. So you've got to treat each creator as a client. It's not like, okay, TagMango was one client. It was
Right.
like there was 65 different clients,
Yeah.
that we were managing.
Yeah.
And to manage at that scale was a very interesting challenge.
Tell me about the challenges, bro. That was anyways my next question.
So there were a lot of things that kind of broke in the middle because I never scaled up that aggressively.
Right.
TagMango was my first experience of really scaling up, dude. Prior to TagMango, I had managed maybe around 20 clients off the top of my head. When TagMango came through, dude, they only added like 60 other clients.
Right.
So the amount of bandwidth that we needed to kind of scale up and the speed at which we had to do it
Right.
was very, very, very interesting and something I'd never experienced before. So some challenges, dude, that I had experienced was like, for example, when a creator wants a certain page going up, right? And TagMango to kind of service the creator, we need to go ahead and deliver it in 3 days. We did not have bandwidth because we need to do it for 20 creators, 30 creators this week and launch. And we didn't have the bandwidth for it. So what happened, bro, is that then it came to finding those unique solutions. Okay, so at that time, dude, I used to still record content and I used to still document.
Yes.
Okay, and I had a decent following, not in terms of quantity, but just in terms of quality. I had the right people in my network.
Yeah.
So I remember at one point, dude, every week there would be a story post. Okay, that there would be new people that I needed. And my Instagram at that time, dude, saved me. I remember. Okay, because I remember, dude, there was one point, bro, where we needed to build 20 landing pages in a week. Okay, and those 20 landing pages, dude, I did not know how I would do it.
Yeah.
I really I had no clue how I would do it. And when you're dealing with such a big responsibility, it's not about the money, right? It's just about you've already got your name out there, right? It's about making sure that nothing happens with that relationship. Someone is trusting you with their brand, with their name, with their business, right? Each creator was trusting me at that time. Now, for you to actually perform and make sure that the group is not affected, TagMango team members, each creator, you don't want anything to negatively affect them, right? So at that time, bro, there was only one thought going in my head. How do I get this to work? I have 20 pages that I need to build this week. I have the bandwidth to build 3. That's 17 more that I need to do. And in terms of absolute numbers, it doesn't sound like much. But if you actually look at, okay, we had bandwidth of 3 and we needed to do 20. That's 7 times more than the current bandwidth.
Yeah.
When you think about that, bro, at that time, it was really scary for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that much of a network, dude. I was only trying to get out. Right? So at that time, bro, I just went aggressive. I started everywhere. I started posting on Instagram. I started asking every single friend I had. I started posting on LinkedIn. Okay, I started posting on these types of job portals. I wanted to hire freelancers, part-time interns, full-time interns, full-time people, everyone.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone I searched for. And at that time, dude, I remember my Instagram saved me.
I'm glad.
That's still one very important moment where, I mean, definitely if Instagram wasn't there, I would have still done it. But it was so much more convenient with it because you got the right network. Instagram gave me the right people at the right time who had the right expectations, right? Who came in, who handled everything, took the entire responsibility away from me. There was no training period required, no onboarding period required, no expectations of, okay, this is only going to be a 9 to 5. And that was really cool, bro. That was really, really helpful. And at that time, dude, I felt like, okay, this is something that I need to keep going on. Unfortunately, it stopped very soon after that. But at the same time, dude, I remember that very clearly, dude, because, bro, adjusting and managing that type of bandwidth and that type of target, dude, I still can't believe it sometimes, bro. And that actually happened. And I haven't thought about that moment for the past 2 years.
Right.
So I'm glad, dude. I'm liking the questions you're asking.
Oh, you should have called me earlier. I mean, I would have helped you in that situation.
Yeah, bro, but definitely, man. At that time, we weren't connected only,
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
You know? But anyways, now we are connected.
Yeah,
You know?
always there, bro. So the thing is, bro, I'm gonna share. So I'm coming to present day. Okay, talking about TagMango, I'm going to share my biased perspective. I just feel like it didn't work out. What are your thoughts? What is really, really happening? You've worked very closely with them. I haven't. I have just observed as an observer. I am not uh, picking them as my partner. Why is that the case?
So I think what I've really experienced, okay, is that I believe the TagMango leadership is really good. Okay, I believe that the vision that the founders have is amazing. Okay, and I believe that their communication and managerial skills are very high. They're all very driven and determined,
Right.
dude. So it's two co-founders, Divyanshu and Hassan.
Yeah.
Okay, I've interacted more with Hassan, so that's why I know more about him. He's already successful. He has another business, a service business in development. He already had that taken care of. Divyanshu had a creator business prior to TagMango. So both of them combined took their experiences and wanted to build something to solve, right? Hassan had his experience of development. Okay, he ran a very successful development agency, which is still continued to be successful. Divyanshu took his experience of the creator economy and his network. They both joined hands together and built something, which I thought was very interesting and very exciting. Again, the founders had leverage, which was their personal experience. That's what drew me to them. They had a great vision also, okay, which was to enable creators. To tell you a little bit more, dude, I never knew about Hassan. I knew about Divyanshu. I used to follow him,
Right.
okay, long back.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point he was in Mumbai and I saw a story and that's why I DM'd him. And at that time, I remember I had a decent following, or maybe he had found out about me from somewhere or something, and he also responded back. And we decided to meet. And at that time, the TagMango core team was just operating out of an apartment in Mumbai, in Andheri, I believe. And I remember going to that house, and that's where I met Hassan. And he started asking me about my creator journey.
Okay.
And I think at that time I was still a little bit inconsistent.
Right.
And he just had a sit down with me and he just wanted to understand a little bit more about my creator journey. And I started telling him that, I do this for documentation, but I'm finding that it's very inconsistent and stuff. And he asked me, why is it inconsistent? I was like, right now I'm kind of going in that phase of not having an editor and finding the right editor to kind of help me with this. And finding the right place to shoot also, because I was shooting and recording from my home.
Right.
And I did not have the right circumstances to shoot at that time. So at that point, dude, what Hassan said really, really stayed with me. Okay, because what he mentioned is that, Karan, you should come over here and shoot. Come over here anytime, just tell me 1 hour before. Come here, shoot. Your edit also, we have an editor, we'll take care of it. And we won't even charge you anything. Come, do it. And see, after 3 months of consistency, see where you're at. And that's all he said. And I've never met the guy, bro, before in my life. I've never met the guy. I did not have great relationships with him. It's not like I looked up to him also to a certain level where I try and build that relationship when I see him, right? I'm just having a normal conversation with him.
Yeah.
Right? And in the space of, okay, every startup is going for money, right? Every person is going for money. In that type of space, this guy comes in. He tries to understand what are your goals. He tries to understand what are you aiming for. And he tries to understand what are the obstacles. And he tries to solve it, to eradicate it, all without expecting anything in return. I think that itself kind of shows the leadership of Hassan and Divyanshu.
It's a great approach.
Amazing approach. And that's how they started helping creators, but I think in 6 months, dude, they grew to some insane numbers, bro. They had everyone in the ecosystem. But again, the main challenge was monetization, because they started helping everyone without the expectation of money.
Yeah.
Then when you started to set the expectation of money with people, it didn't work out. And it could be because of countless reasons,
Yeah.
but it just didn't work out. So now they're doing something else. I'm not sure of the specifics, but now they're doing something else. I remember at a time they were targeting more of the US market, also trying
Yeah.
to differentiate themselves there.
Right.
And definitely hats off to them to kind of build through all of these challenges and still keep building, still keep moving. They've still got some of the most amazing team members, and I used to be with their team, dude, every alternate day, if not every day, for a certain period of time. Had the most amount of fun, and the amount of risks that they had to take to kind of really stick to that vision, and they still stuck to it. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I definitely think that there are lots of challenges, lots of competitors, and everyone's fighting for this market, man. Everyone knows the value of the creator economy now. Everyone does. So I think that there is going to be a lot more challenges. That's what I believe. But they're still stuck into it, and I can't think of any other two guys who can kind of make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely,
So
bro.
I don't know. Maybe they're already successful, maybe not. But if they're not, I'm rooting for them. I truly
Definitely.
believe that they have the potential to succeed.
Definitely. Back in those days, they were talk of the town, man. I mean, everyone was talking about them every single day.
Yeah.
It
Dude,
was like
because
that.
there were hardly any major competitors. There was still some. I remember Riggy was
Yeah.
one major player. There was one more also that was started by an academy. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
It was a
Graphy.
product. Graphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Graphy.
Yeah.
So that was also there. So there were those names also, but no one that really, took over the space.
Not at all.
Like TagMango did. And that really showed the risk taking and the ambition that they had. They rented an entire bungalow in Juhu, on Juhu beach,
It's crazy.
because of their vision of being a tech company, an online tech company. But they rented a physical bungalow in one of the most expensive areas in Mumbai, which is one of the most expensive cities in the country,
Yeah.
if not the world.
Yeah.
Right? So it really shows the risk and the ambition and the amount they had for their vision. Right? And I wouldn't have been able to do it, man. I wouldn't.
It's a big risk, bro. It's
So yeah, I mean, definitely if they're taking that much of risk, if they're doing so much, I'm sure eventually when they do succeed, dude, they're gonna be big. And I'm rooting for them. I really do think that they have something, dude, that unique factor, bro. When you see that partnership happen, they have that unique factor.
right. Bro, there's this other community that I really want to come back. And earlier it was called Avalon Labs, and then they named it Meta Startup. And then last time I remember they called it Scenes, the app. We all downloaded it. We all wanted a piece of it. And as an information, we all loved it. We all, I mean, talked about it every single day. It was huge. But then again, the same problem happened. It's gone. We don't have the access anymore. There's no details coming. There's no update coming. Varun and everyone has given the update that they're not doing it anymore. What are your thoughts, bro?
I mean, bro, I've never seen a community like that. I joined it. I did not engage as much. Actually, I did not engage at all. That's the right way to put it. Because at that time, dude, my priorities were a little bit different. And yeah, my priorities were just a little bit different. Okay, but at the same point, dude, I remember going into the Discord community. I remember downloading the app. I remember seeing all the comments and all the categories and the tags and everything. And I remember thinking that this is the smartest community I've been part of. This is the smartest community in India. I had never seen a community like that. Because maybe there is a space where people like that hang out. I don't know. I've just never been exposed to it. The first place that I've been exposed to was Scenes, right? That, okay, this is where the community is. This is where these people are. And I just downloaded the app. I signed up. I saw it and I could see it for my eyes. It wasn't a false claim. I could see it from my eyes that with zero moderation, everyone over there came with a certain expectation, came with a certain positioning, came with a certain skill, experience, energy level that they wanted to go ahead and up their journey, up their status, up their experience, up the entire group's results, right? And everyone wanted to win in that group. And everyone wanted to have fun also. There were some channels, dude. I remember Discord time. I don't remember in the Meta Startup app or in the Scenes app. I remember in the Discord group, there were some channels that were just for time pass.
Yeah.
And still people wanted to engage, people wanted to network, people wanted to
Add
meet
value.
people and add value. Exactly. And you don't see that, dude. In India, we are so competitive, that life is a race. We are just so competitive that is one of the very few places that I would remember that this type of group of people at scale would come in and just want to help. Nobody is like that, dude. In India, even in the entire world, everyone just wants to take, nobody wants to give, right? But being part of a group like that, that's, yeah, I don't know of anything else that's done it.
I really miss that.
Yeah, bro, even I do. I never engaged in it, but just seeing that, it validated something in me.
There was this point system. There was so much gamification done by them, and I've never seen that level of gamification ever.
Yeah, it was the first time I also saw it, dude.
Yeah.
First time, and the way they thought through everything, I could never imagine doing something like that. I could never imagine how much thought would they have to put towards a product like this, because there were other products in the market when they wanted to go B2B, right? And they transitioned and they sold Scenes as a software to other businesses. There were other softwares that were doing the exact same thing. There was Circle.so. TagMango is now doing the same thing. Go High Level is doing the exact same thing. There's so many competitors, man, that are trying to do the exact same thing. Community management, right? School is doing the exact same thing. But seeing that happen in that type of different way, dude, the way they differentiated it, I've never seen it before. From an Indian company also, right? The positioning, the way they went to businesses and not creators. I've not seen a single company do that.
Right. No, bro, one thing that has surely happened is that if not thousands, lakhs of humans and Indians have become advocate of Varun Maya. Whatsoever he launches, we are all big advocate of whatsoever he does. So that's the power of community, man. At the end of the day.
Yeah, bro. And he capitalized also on it. Not purposely or with a negative intention, but
he had to, obviously, man.
Yeah.
One has to pay to keep themselves serious.
Yeah. But also the positioning of Meta Startup, dude. That's what really got to me.
Yeah.
So the way he differentiated that, okay, he's successful, he's gone through certain experiences, he wants to document it. Now, everyone else charging for business programs, courses, all these gurus were
Yeah.
charging $1,000 or even higher, right? He wanted to do something for free for India. That type of positioning, dude, it, I think, hit everyone's heart. And that type of the amount of value he added, he just kept giving and giving and giving and giving for the longest period of time. And now also he's only giving. He's not really pitched anything, right?
Obviously, yeah.
So now also he's only giving and giving and giving. And that type of value addition over so many years, compounded at a good scale of finding the right trend, pushing the right content, getting that distribution, getting the right credibility of, okay, doing a Google interview, a Microsoft interview, being in that network of really good creators in the ecosystem. All of that, I think, compounded to a point where now the type of respect that he's gained, not because he did only 1-2 things, not because he, just unlike any business, bro, in this space, to gain respect, dude, you can't bribe anyone, you can't pay money, you can't have a short-term cheat code for it, right? But he's gained that level of respect, and definitely years of hard work, a lot of thinking, a lot of giving, a lot of, everything, right? It's not easy. But at the same time, dude, I personally know, dude, the respect I have for him, and I know why I have it,
Yeah.
And I believe it's a similar story with a lot of other people, a lot.
Definitely.
And because he's still not taking, The minute he takes, dude, everyone's gonna rush to give him money.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna rush.
Yeah.
The minute he asks for a favor, everyone's gonna help him.
Yeah.
You know, he just needs to ask once.
Yeah. That's all.
You know, the same thing with Alex Hormozzi also.
Yeah.
Right? The amount he's giving and giving and giving. He had this one webinar. I think it was a year back. He had this one webinar. Exactly a year back, dude. I think September or something. He was launching this new book of his, $100 million leads. And he had this launch webinar. And I remember he was going through this entire presentation, and all these coaches and creators and everything, when you go to their webinars and all, they have the same presentation style. They'll take you through the entire thing. They'll do an offer stack. They'll give you that, okay, this offer stack is valued at X. You're getting it at X divided by 10. And then for today only, in the next half an hour, you're getting it by X divided by 100 at this price point. But only for the next 30 minutes, only these many slots are available. Go now. Simple. Right? Everyone goes through the same exact flow.
Yeah.
He did the exact same flow. He went through the entire flow, breaking everyone's beliefs, setting certain expectations, positioning his offer. He did the offer stack. And then he asked, how much do you think this is worth? You're going to get this at $10,000. And then he said that, okay, but since y'all are here with me, y'all have spent 3 hours for me. Usually I would charge $10,000 for this. But today, only now you will get it for $997, payable through 2 payments. And then he said that, okay, let's make this even better. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a fast action pricing. Instead of $997, guess how much it would be? And everyone in the chat box, 500, 500, 500. Everyone thought it would be cut in half.
Right.
He's like, 0. And the slide showed just 0. And he went through the entire pitch. He went through every single thing. He asked people, how much would you pay for it? Everyone's typing 500, 500, 500. He's getting people to agree that they would happily pay 500 for that.
Right.
And then he's like 0. And not just for the next 30 minutes. It's free. Go to this URL and you'll get all the access immediately.
Insane, bro.
And dude, like he could have, I don't know the exact numbers, but I remember there were a lot of people typing on Twitter and Instagram for this, because the crowd that he had, he must have had at least 50,000 people watching live.
He could have made
Okay.
like 10 million or something.
Easy.
Easy.
He could have made tens of millions of dollars. But because he waited and he did not ask and he gave that 10 million, if he asked after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, when he does ask, that 10 million will be 100 million.
Agreed.
Right? So I see that very similar, dude, with Varun Maya also, where he just kept giving, kept adding value, kept making sure that people understood the value of what he's giving also. It's not like he downplayed it, right? It's not like he just said that, okay, this is free, so it will be cheap. He built the best product. He took everything to another level in terms of quality and then made everything free.
Right.
Right? So everything was taken care of in terms of quality. And then he just kept giving. Same thing I'm seeing with Alex Hormozzi as well. Kept giving. And which is why even when Alex Hormozzi will ask for anything,
He will get it.
he will get it.
Okay. Coming back to your life, bro. You've partnered with and worked with a lot of billionaires, right? And one of the story I know about it is of Zivame founder, right? Richa.
Yeah.
I want to know more about it. How did you crack the deal? What's her story as well? If people don't know about it, how did you make it work?
So that was actually one of the very few clients that I really respect also, because her journey is such, so she went to one of the major colleges in India, got a really good degree, got a good job offer, left that. She started this brand called Zivame. She took that, she raised funds, raised from VCs and everything, took that to a whole new level. Sold that. When she sold it, she was the fifth richest woman entrepreneur in the country, self-made woman entrepreneur in the country. Okay, I remember seeing that article maybe about 2 years back when I started working with her. And the way I got in touch with her was through a common friend. Okay, they had referred me. And I remember that she was starting a new brand called All Being. She had exited out of Zivame. She wanted to start a new supplement brand called All Being. And I found the brand really nice. I found the packaging, the products. I tried the products myself, right? And I felt that it was useful in the country and, in fact, even in the world. I felt like it could really make a difference. And I knew that the founder had leverage. The founder had previous experience. She had a network. She had, so for example, sometimes, bro, what happens is our ad stats are so good, I want to scale up, but the founder doesn't have the right inventory, the right,
A lot of things.
the right leverage
Yeah.
for us to kind of scale up. So I thought at that point, dude, that it won't be a problem with Richa. Right? As long as you find something that works, you will double down, you will scale on it, and you will scale aggressively. And that's what I aimed for, and I connected with her through this mutual friend. I, obviously showed my passion about her journey, about the brand that she started from scratch, from her bedroom, scaled to a huge level. I don't even remember the exact figures, but huge level. And I showed her my, just my interest in partnering up for All Being. I was a customer of the brand. I tried the products. I did all of this sort of stuff before actually closing her, right? And I made sure that I understood exactly why she started this, because she didn't have to, or she could have started anything else, right? Why did she have to start a supplement brand, and specifically those 3 supplements that she had? There was one for eye health. I remember I had tried that. It was called Insight. Okay, I tried that product. It was a gummy. Really nice, dude. Taste wise good. In terms of in terms of
Effectively.
effectiveness also, I could notice an effectiveness in about 10 days.
Not bad.
So it wasn't, I couldn't really name a certain type of con or challenge or problem, right? Of why this wouldn't scale, why this wouldn't work. So I reached out. I tried to communicate my intention as best, right? And thankfully it worked out. Thankfully she gave me a shot, and we started working together. We started scaling it a bit. And then what happened, bro, is eventually we started seeing a certain cap. And at that time, bro, my priorities were also a little bit different. So I couldn't kind of help her solve that cap. So there was a barrier not allowing us to scale further. And at that time, dude, I was so involved in the agency operations that I could not look at putting more time to kind of solve that barrier. There was a barrier outside of marketing that was kind of,
Was there.
not allowing us to grow. And there was definitely a solution. The solution was put more time to solve it. And I couldn't do it. My attentions were split. There were a lot of projects coming through. And at that time, dude, we kind of parted ways. So that's how it ended. But I'm still in very good connect with her. Still a founder who I go to for feedback and thoughts. Someone who I really respect, who I have good relationships with, thankfully. And someone who I can always count on. You need people like that.
Yeah.
Right? And very sweet, dude. Very sweet, very humble, bro, for what she's achieved. No arrogance at all. Everything completely 100% humble. 100% humble. Okay, she never once mentioned that I achieved this. This is what I want to do. This, never suppressive like that. Always very interested in knowing what the other person wants, what the other person's expertise is, what the other person wants to execute or how they want to execute, and very supportive. So very good client, dude. One of my best clients yet. Unfortunately, I could not help her to the best of my capabilities, right? And I still think that there's a lot of growth potential for All Being. I still think it can scale up to a huge level. But it was good, bro. It was a great project. I learned a lot. The initial scale also that we did, dude, it was a good case study for All Being also. We added value. And it was fun working, bro. It was really fun working. I enjoyed the challenges that were coming through, bro. This video was saturated. Let's do a new video. Okay, let's do this script. Which influencer do we want to target? Okay, this product. Okay, no, this other product. Okay, we want to test this other landing page. It was just fun, man.
Yeah.
We always wanted to experiment. We always wanted to test different things. And the amount of insights that I drew out of that, dude, crazy.
I mean, that is the fuel for us.
Exactly. So, and it was fun.
Interesting. Man.
So sometimes you need those fun projects also, bro. Why do you always have to be behind the numbers, behind the work?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need those clients that you don't mind chilling with.
I think there should be at least a 30-70 split
Right.
of this setup.
Exactly. That you can just talk to.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't mind taking a call with them. Some clients, bro, you see that, okay, let's get on a call today. You feel like, that's how I used to feel 2 years back or
Right.
3 years back.
Right.
Because clients wanted me on the call and everything. And I was like, shit, how am I going to do this? Now it's a little bit different, dude.
Definitely.
Now it's like, okay, we've got good clients who I like working with. So now, bro, anyone says, let's go on a call. I'm like, okay, I'll just call you.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Now you can deal with anything that comes your way. Bro, I had a very insightful conversation with you. When I'm saying we, I mean, I'm counting the audience as well.
Definitely.
So the thing is, I really hope all of you who have watched us so far have enjoyed the conversation, have got the insights and a lot of ideas. Do drop your thoughts and comments. The thing is, we are thoda short of time because you have some schedules and all of that. So what we'll do is we'll do a part 2. Okay.
I don't mind.
Yeah. If we see a lot of people commenting and whatnot, and even if you don't, we will still do it. So
Right.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2, bro. I really loved this conversation. Not just that, it's been over a year that we have collaborated on projects and worked together. I really enjoy that. I must say that on camera, I have loved working with you every single day.
Bro, dude, trust me, dude. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Right? You know that. Behind the camera, behind the scenes, you know exactly what we've gone through, right?
Yeah.
But definitely, man, I loved being here. The questions that you got out of me, and the answers that you got out of me, dude, I haven't really thought about that for years. And I
Right.
found it fun, man. I hope that it was valuable as well. But at the same time, dude, it was a fun experience. We should do this again.
Yeah.
And for sure, man, I know that this, hopefully you will be getting me back into content. And
Very
this
soon.
won't be a
Very
one-time
soon.
thing.
Oh, very soon, for sure, bro. I have to. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Perfect.